exploring the vibrant depths of Australia's iconic Great Barrier Reef. Narrated by Christine Churcher. Chapter 1. Location and Formation. The Great Barrier Reef GBER is one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, stretching over 2,300 kilometres off the coast of Queensland, Australia. This natural wonder is not only a marvel of nature, but also a testament to the geological forces that have shaped it over millions of years. The GBER is situated in the Coral Sea, a shallow sea that connects the Pacific Ocean to the Coral Sea Basin. The reef is bounded by the continental shelf, which is a gently sloping area of seabed that extends from the coastline to a depth of around 200 meters. The continental shelf is characterized by a series of underwater ridges and valleys, which were formed as a result of tectonic plate movement and erosion. The GBER is a coral reef ecosystem comprising more than 2,900 individual reefs, 900 islands, and countless coral cays. The reef is built upon a foundation of limestone, which is formed from the accumulation of calcium carbonate secreted by coral polyps. Coral polyps are tiny, soft-bodied animals that belong to the phylum Cnidaria. They have a hard calcium carbonate exoskeleton that provides protection and support. The process of coral reef formation is a slow and gradual one, occurring over thousands of years. Coral polyps grow by secreting layers of calcium carbonate, which harden to form a solid structure. As the coral polyps grow, they secrete more calcium carbonate, which is deposited on top of the existing structure. Over time, this process creates a complex network of coral colonies, which provide a habitat for a vast array of marine life. The GBER has been shaped by a combination of tectonic activity and sea level changes. The reef is situated in a region of high tectonic activity, where the Australian and Pacific tectonic plates are moving apart. This movement has created a series of underwater ridges and valleys, which have been eroded over time to form the continental shelf. Sea level changes have also played a significant role in the formation of the GBER. During the last ice age, sea levels were much lower than they are today, and the reef was exposed to the air. As the ice sheets melted and sea levels rose, the reef was flooded, and the coral polyps were able to grow and thrive in the newly formed marine environment. The Great Barrier Reef is a remarkable natural wonder, shaped by a combination of geological forces and biological processes. Its location and formation are the result of millions of years of tectonic activity, sea level changes, and coral growth. The reef is a testament to the incredible diversity and complexity of marine ecosystems, and it continues to inspire and educate people around the world. Chapter 2. Climate and Oceanography. Climate and Oceanography. Overview of the climate and oceanographic conditions surrounding the reef. The coral reef ecosystem is a complex and dynamic system that is influenced by a variety of climate and oceanographic factors. Understanding these conditions is crucial for appreciating the unique characteristics of the reef and the challenges it faces. The reef is situated in the tropics, where the climate is characterized by high temperatures and high levels of solar radiation. The average annual temperature of the reef is around 28 Ts, with a range of 25 C to 30 C throughout the year. This warm temperature is ideal for the growth and survival of coral polyps, which are the building blocks of the reef. However, the reef is also susceptible to climate-related stresses such as sea surface temperature anomalies and ocean acidification. Rising sea surface temperatures can cause coral bleaching, which is a phenomenon where the coral expels its algal symbionts, turning white and often leading to coral death. Ocean acidification, caused by the absorption of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, can also have negative impacts on coral growth and survival. The reef is surrounded by a complex oceanographic system with a variety of currents and water masses influencing its dynamics. The reef is situated in the path of the East Australian Current, which brings warm, nutrient-rich waters from the Coral Sea. This current plays a crucial role in supporting the reef's biodiversity as it brings in nutrients and organic matter that support the growth of phytoplankton and zooplankton. The reef is also influenced by the monsoon season, which brings strong winds and high levels of rainfall to the region. During this time, the reef experiences increased sedimentation and nutrient runoff, which can have negative impacts on water quality and the reef's biodiversity. The reef is also influenced by tidal and wave dynamics, which play a crucial role in shaping its morphology and influencing its biodiversity. The reef is exposed to a variety of tidal currents, including the semi-diurnal tide, which brings in water from the open ocean and drives the circulation of water over the reef. The reef is also influenced by wave energy, which can have both positive and negative impacts on its biodiversity. On the one hand, wave energy can help to maintain the reef structure and promote the growth of coral and other marine life. On the other hand, high levels of wave energy can cause erosion and damage to the reef, particularly in areas with high levels of sedimentation. The climate and oceanographic conditions surrounding the reef are complex and dynamic, with a variety of factors influencing its biodiversity and ecosystem function. Understanding these conditions is crucial for appreciating the unique characteristics of the reef and the challenges it faces. By recognizing the importance of climate and oceanographic factors, we can better appreciate the reef's resilience and adaptability and work to protect and conserve this valuable ecosystem for future generations. Chapter 3: Biology of Coral. Coral reefs are often referred to as the rainforests of the sea due to their incredible biodiversity and importance in the marine ecosystem. However, the biology of coral itself is often overlooked, despite being the foundation of these vibrant ecosystems. In this chapter, we will delve into the fascinating world of coral biology, exploring its structure, function, and role in the ecosystem. Coral is a living organism that belongs to the phylum Cnidaria, which also includes sea anemones and jellyfish. Coral is composed of two main parts, the polyp and the coral skeleton. The polyp is the soft, sac-like body of the coral, which is attached to the substrate by a stalk-like structure called a peduncle. The coral skeleton, on the other hand, is a hard calcium carbonate structure that provides support and protection for the polyp. Each coral polyp is a tiny, soft-bodied animal that is typically -5 mm in diameter. The polyp has a mouth surrounded by tentacles, which it uses to capture small prey such as plankton and small fish. The polyp also has a digestive system that breaks down its food and absorbs nutrients. The coral skeleton is a complex structure that is secreted by the coral polyp. It is made up of calcium carbonate, which is deposited in a layer-by-layer process. The skeleton provides support and protection for the polyp, as well as a surface for the polyp to attach itself to. Coral reefs are some of the most diverse ecosystems on the planet, with thousands of species of fish, invertebrates, and algae living in harmony. Coral reefs provide a habitat for these species, as well as a source of food and shelter. The coral itself plays a crucial role in the ecosystem, providing a framework for the reef structure and supporting the growth of algae and other organisms. Coral reefs are formed through a process called coral growth, where coral polyps secrete calcium carbonate and build up a layer-by-layer structure. This process can take thousands of years, resulting in the formation of a complex reef structure. Coral reefs are home to an incredible array of species, including fish, invertebrates, and algae. The diversity of species on a coral reef is due to the unique combination of factors such as water temperature, salinity, and light. Coral reefs are facing numerous threats, including climate change, pollution, and overfishing. These threats can have devastating effects on the ecosystem, including coral bleaching and reduced biodiversity. Conservation efforts are underway to protect coral reefs, including the establishment of marine protected areas and the promotion of sustainable fishing practices. In conclusion, coral biology is a fascinating and complex field that is essential for understanding the importance of coral reefs in the marine ecosystem. By exploring the structure, function, and role of coral in the ecosystem, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the incredible diversity and importance of these ecosystems. Chapter 4: Diversity of Marine Life. The coral reef ecosystem is a vibrant and dynamic environment, teeming with an astonishing array of marine life. This chapter will delve into the incredible diversity of species that call the reef home, exploring the fascinating adaptations and behaviors that enable them to thrive in this unique environment. The coral reef is often referred to as the rainforest of the sea due to its incredible biodiversity. It is estimated that a single square meter of reef can be home to over 1,000 different species of fish, invertebrates, and algae. This staggering diversity is due in part to the reef's complex structure, which provides a multitude of habitats and microenvironments for different species to occupy. One of the most iconic and charismatic inhabitants of the reef is the coral itself. Coral is a living organism composed of tiny animals called polyps that work together to form a hard calcium carbonate skeleton. There are over 800 species of coral, ranging in color, shape, and size, each with its own unique characteristics and adaptations. Fish are perhaps the most recognizable inhabitants of the reef, and for good reason. With over 4,000 species found on coral reefs worldwide, they are incredibly diverse and come in a staggering array of shapes, sizes, and colors. From the tiny, iridescent damselfish to the majestic, silver-grey groupers, fish are a key component of the reef's ecosystem. Some species of fish have evolved remarkable adaptations to survive on the reef. For example, the parrotfish has a specialized beak-like mouth that allows it to feed on algae and coral, while the butterflyfish has developed a unique symbiotic relationship with sea anemones, which provide it with protection from predators. In addition to fish, the reef is home to a vast array of invertebrates, including mollusks, crustaceans, and echinoderms. These animals play a crucial role in the reef's ecosystem, serving as both predators and prey, and helping to maintain the delicate balance of the environment. One of the most fascinating invertebrates found on the reef is the sea slug, also known as a nudibranch. These colorful creatures have evolved a range of remarkable adaptations, including the ability to photosynthesize, and can be found in a variety of shapes and sizes. In addition to its incredible fauna, the coral reef is also home to a vast array of flora, including seaweeds, seagrasses, and coral itself. These plants play a crucial role in the reef's ecosystem, providing food and shelter for a wide range of species and helping to maintain the delicate balance of the environment. One of the most iconic and ecologically important plants found on the reef is the seaweed. Seaweeds come in a range of shapes and sizes, from the delicate, lace-like fronds of the sea ferns to the robust, branching stems of the kelp forests. They provide a vital source of food for many species of fish and invertebrates and help to stabilize the reef's substrate. The coral reef ecosystem is a truly remarkable environment, teeming with an astonishing array of marine life. From the tiny, iridescent fish to the towering, branching coral formations, Each species has evolved remarkable adaptations and behaviors that enable it to thrive in this unique environment. As we continue to learn more about the incredible diversity of life on the reef, we are reminded of the importance of preserving and protecting this incredible ecosystem for future generations. Chapter 5: Ecosystem Services. Coral reef ecosystems are often referred to as the rainforests of the sea due to their incredible biodiversity and ecological importance. These underwater worlds are home to a vast array of species, from tiny fish to massive sea turtles, and provide a multitude of ecosystem services that are essential for the health of our planet. Coral reefs are some of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet, with estimates suggesting that a single square meter of reef can be home to over 1,000 different species. This incredible diversity is due in part to the complex structure of the reef itself, which provides a variety of habitats for different species to thrive. From the coral polyps that form the foundation of the reef to the seaweed and algae that grow on its surface, every component of the ecosystem plays a vital role in supporting the overall health of the reef. Coral reefs also play a critical role in the global carbon cycle. Coral polyps absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and convert it into calcium carbonate, which is used to build the structure of the reef. This process helps to remove excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which in turn helps to mitigate the effects of climate change. In addition, the coral reef ecosystem itself acts as a carbon sink, storing carbon in the form of organic matter and sediments. Coral reefs also provide important shoreline protection by acting as a natural barrier against storms and erosion. The coral reef structure helps to dissipate the energy of incoming waves, reducing the impact of storms and preventing erosion of the coastline. This is particularly important for island communities, which are often vulnerable to the effects of storms and sea level rise. Coral reefs are also an important source of food for millions of people around the world. Many commercial fish species rely on coral reefs for food and shelter, and the reefs themselves provide a vital source of income for local communities through fishing and tourism. In addition, coral reefs are an important source of medicine, with many species found on the reefs providing valuable compounds for the treatment of human diseases. Coral reefs also provide important economic benefits through tourism. The beauty and diversity of coral reefs make them a popular destination for scuba divers and snorkelers, generating significant revenue for local communities. In addition, coral reefs provide important habitat for a variety of marine species that are popular among tourists, such as sea turtles and rays. Despite the importance of coral reef ecosystems, they are facing a range of challenges that threaten their health and resilience. Climate change, pollution, and overfishing are all major threats to coral reefs, and conservation efforts are necessary to protect these ecosystems for future generations. This includes the establishment of marine protected areas, the reduction of pollution and carbon emissions, and the promotion of sustainable fishing practices. In conclusion, coral reef ecosystems are vital components of our planet's ecosystem, providing a range of ecosystem services that are essential for the health of our planet. From supporting biodiversity to providing shoreline protection and food security, coral reefs play a critical role in maintaining the balance of our ecosystem. However, these ecosystems are facing a range of challenges that threaten their health and resilience, and conservation efforts are necessary to protect these ecosystems for future generations. Chapter 6: Planning and Preparation. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, is a paradise for scuba divers and snorkelers. However, planning and preparing for a diving trip to this magnificent destination requires careful consideration of various factors to ensure a safe and enjoyable experience. In this chapter, we will provide guidance on planning and preparing for a diving trip to the Great Barrier Reef, covering essential information on underwater world descriptions, coral reef ecosystems, diving experiences, and island life. Before embarking on your diving trip, it is essential to have a basic understanding of the Great Barrier Reef. The reef stretches over 2,300 kilometres off the coast of Queensland, Australia, and is composed of more than 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands. The reef system is home to an incredible array of marine life, including over 1,500 species of fish, 600 species of coral, and many other creatures such as sharks, rays, and turtles. The Great Barrier Reef is a complex ecosystem with coral reefs, coral cays, and mangrove forests, providing a habitat for an incredible array of marine life. Coral reefs are formed by coral polyps, tiny animals that secrete a hard calcium carbonate exoskeleton. As coral polyps grow, they form a reef structure that provides a home for countless species of fish, invertebrates, and algae. Coral reefs are not only breathtakingly beautiful, but also play a crucial role in maintaining the health of the ocean, providing a barrier against storms and supporting commercial fisheries. The Great Barrier Reef offers a range of diving experiences for divers of all levels, from beginner-friendly shallow reefs to deeper, more challenging dives. The reef is home to numerous dive sites, each with its unique characteristics, such as coral formations, shipwrecks, and marine life. For beginners, the reef offers numerous shallow dive sites, such as the ribbon reefs and the cod hole, which are perfect for exploring the underwater world. For more experienced divers, the reef offers deeper dives, such as the Yongala, a historic shipwreck that lies at a depth of 28 meters. The Great Barrier Reef is surrounded by numerous islands, each with its unique character and charm. The islands offer a range of accommodation options, from luxury resorts to budget-friendly bungalows, and provide a relaxing retreat from the hustle and bustle of diving. Many of the islands are uninhabited, offering a chance to experience the tranquility of the reef without the distraction of human activity. The islands also offer a range of activities, such as snorkeling, fishing, and hiking, providing a chance to explore the reef from a different perspective. Before embarking on your diving trip to the Great Barrier Reef, it is essential to plan and prepare carefully. Here are some essential tips to consider. Research the reef before your trip. Research the reef and its conditions, including the best dive sites, marine life, and weather patterns. Choose a reputable operator. Select a reputable dive operator that has experience diving in the Great Barrier Reef and provides high-quality equipment and instruction. Plan your itinerary. Plan your itinerary carefully, considering the best dive sites, weather conditions, and your own physical limitations. Pack essential gear. Pack essential gear, including a wetsuit, mask, and snorkel, and ensure that your equipment is in good condition. Respect the reef. Respect the reef and its inhabitants, following all local regulations and guidelines to ensure the long-term health of the reef. The Great Barrier Reef is a unique and breathtakingly beautiful destination that offers a range of diving experiences for divers of all levels. By understanding the reef, its ecosystems, and its inhabitants, and by planning and preparing carefully, you can ensure a safe and enjoyable diving trip to this incredible destination. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced diver, the Great Barrier Reef is an experience that will leave you in awe of the underwater world. Chapter 7: Dive Sites and Routes. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, offers a wide range of dive sites and routes for experienced and novice divers alike. From shallow coral gardens to deep-sea trenches, the reef's diverse topography and marine life make it an unparalleled destination for underwater exploration. Located approximately 150 kilometers northeast of Cairns, the Ribbon Reefs are a series of submerged reefs that stretch for over 80 kilometers. This region is renowned for its vibrant coral formations, schools of pelagic fish, and encounters with majestic marine life such as sharks, rays, and turtles. The ribbon reefs are a favorite among technical divers who can explore the reef's numerous drop-offs, swim-throughs, and caverns. For those seeking a more leisurely dive, the reef's shallow waters and gentle currents offer an ideal environment for observing the reef's intricate marine life. Located approximately 30 kilometers off the coast of Ayr, the Yongala is one of the most famous shipwrecks in the world. This 110-meter-long steamship sank in 1911, taking all 306 people on board with it. Today, the Yongala lies at a depth of approximately 28 meters, its rusting hull covered in coral and anemones. The Yongala is a challenging dive due to its depth and strong currents, but the rewards are well worth the effort. Divers can explore the ship's massive propeller, explore the engine room, and observe the abundant marine life that has made the wreck its home. Located approximately 25 kilometers off the coast of Lizard Island, the Code Hole is a shallow dive site that is perfect for divers of all levels. This site is known for its large potato code, which can be seen swimming alongside divers in the crystal-clear waters. The Cod Hole is also home to a variety of other marine life, including groupers, snappers, and sea turtles. The site's shallow waters and gentle currents make it an ideal location for beginners, while experienced divers can explore the site's numerous swim-throughs and coral formations. Located approximately 100 kilometers northwest of Cairns, the Northwestern Reefs are a series of submerged reefs that offer a glimpse into the reef's edge. This region is characterized by strong currents, deep trenches, and an abundance of marine life. The Northwestern Reefs are a favorite among technical divers who can explore the reef's numerous drop-offs, swim-throughs, and caverns. For those seeking a more leisurely dive, the reef's shallow waters and gentle currents offer an ideal environment for observing the reef's intricate marine life. The Great Barrier Reef offers a wide range of dive sites and routes for experienced and novice divers alike. From shallow coral gardens to deep-sea trenches, the reef's diverse topography and marine life make it an unparalleled destination for underwater exploration. Whether you're a seasoned diver or just starting out, the reef has something to offer. So come and experience the magic of the Great Barrier Reef for yourself. Chapter 8. Safety and Emergency Procedures. As divers, we are aware of the inherent risks involved in exploring the underwater world. However, by understanding and adhering to safety protocols and emergency procedures, we can minimize these risks and ensure a safe and enjoyable diving experience. Before descending into the depths, it is crucial to conduct a thorough safety check to ensure that all equipment is functioning properly. This includes inspecting the air supply, buoyancy compensator, and regulator for any signs of damage or malfunction. Checking the depth gauge, dive computer, and submersible pressure gauge for accuracy. Ensuring that the wetsuit or dry suit is properly fitted and sealed. Conducting a quick check of the dive plan, including the dive site, depth, and time limit. In the event of an emergency, it is essential to remain calm and follow established protocols. Some common emergency scenarios include In the event of an unexpected ascent, it is crucial to slow down the rate of ascent to avoid decompression sickness. This can be achieved by breathing slowly and deeply and making gradual ascents. If equipment failure occurs, It is essential to remain calm and assess the situation. In the event of a regulator failure, it is recommended to share air with a buddy or use a backup regulator. In the event of a buoyancy compensator failure, it is recommended to use a backup BC or make a gradual ascent. In the event of a medical emergency, such as a diver experiencing a panic attack or exhibiting signs of decompression sickness, it is essential to provide first aid and make a gradual ascent to the surface. Diving in coral reef ecosystems requires special consideration due to the delicate nature of these ecosystems. Some key considerations include: coral reefs are fragile and can be easily damaged by divers. It is essential to avoid touching or standing on coral to prevent damage and promote the health of the reef. Feeding fish can disrupt the natural balance of the ecosystem and promote overfishing. It is essential to avoid feeding fish and instead observe and appreciate their natural behavior. Coral reefs are home to a diverse range of marine life, including fish, invertebrates, and other creatures. It is essential to respect and avoid disturbing these creatures to promote the health of the ecosystem. Diving is a thrilling and rewarding experience, but it requires careful planning, attention to safety protocols, and adherence to emergency procedures. By understanding and following these guidelines, we can minimize the risks involved and ensure a safe and enjoyable diving experience. Whether diving in coral reef ecosystems or exploring the depths of the ocean, it is essential to respect and protect the underwater world and its inhabitants. Chapter 9: History and Culture. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, is not only a natural wonder but also a cultural treasure trove. The islands surrounding the reef have a rich and complex history shaped by the interactions of indigenous peoples, European colonizers, and modern-day tourism. This chapter provides an overview of the history and culture of the islands, highlighting the unique experiences and perspectives of the communities that call this region home. The Great Barrier Reef has been home to indigenous Australians for at least 40,000 years. The islands and coastal areas were inhabited by various Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander groups, each with their own distinct culture, language, and traditions. These communities developed a deep understanding of the reef's ecosystem, using the sea and its resources for food, shelter, and spiritual practices. The reef was not only a source of sustenance, but also a sacred place, imbued with spiritual significance and mythological stories. The arrival of European settlers in the 18th century marked a significant turning point in the history of the islands. The British established a presence on the islands, and the reef became a valuable resource for trade and commerce. The indigenous populations were displaced, and many were forced to relocate to missions or reserves. The reef's natural resources were exploited, leading to overfishing, pollution, and habitat destruction. The impact of European colonization on the indigenous communities was devastating, resulting in the loss of traditional ways of life, languages, and cultural practices. In recent decades, the Great Barrier Reef has become a popular tourist destination, attracting millions of visitors each year. The islands surrounding the reef offer a range of experiences, from snorkeling and diving to island hopping and beach relaxation. While tourism has brought economic benefits to the region, it has also raised concerns about the impact on the reef's ecosystem and the communities that depend on it. The tourism industry has a responsibility to ensure that its activities are sustainable and do not compromise the reef's integrity. Life on the islands surrounding the Great Barrier Reef is unique and challenging. The communities that live here face a range of environmental, social, and economic challenges, including climate change, overfishing, and limited access to resources. Despite these challenges, the islanders have developed a strong sense of community and resilience, relying on traditional practices and modern innovations to adapt to the changing environment. The islands are also home to a range of cultural festivals and events, celebrating the region's rich cultural heritage. The history and culture of the islands surrounding the Great Barrier Reef are complex and multifaceted, shaped by the interactions of indigenous peoples, European colonizers, and modern-day tourism. The region's unique ecosystem and cultural heritage are under threat from climate change, overfishing, and pollution, highlighting the need for sustainable management and conservation practices. As we move forward, it is essential to recognize the importance of preserving the reef's cultural and natural heritage, ensuring that the communities that call this region home can continue to thrive for generations to come. Chapter 10: Island Ecology. Islands are often considered isolated and fragile ecosystems, yet they harbor a vast array of unique and fascinating ecological communities. These ecosystems have evolved over millions of years, shaped by the island's geography, climate, and geological history. In this chapter, we will delve into the diverse and complex world of island ecology, exploring the characteristics, adaptations, and conservation challenges of these remarkable ecosystems. The underwater world of islands is a realm of breathtaking beauty and complexity. Coral reefs, kelp forests, and seagrass beds are just a few examples of the diverse ecosystems that thrive in the shallow waters surrounding islands. Coral reefs, in particular, are some of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet, hosting an estimated 25 of all marine species. These reefs are formed by coral polyps, tiny animals that secrete a hard, calcium carbonate exoskeleton. As coral grows, it creates a complex structure that provides habitat for countless species of fish, invertebrates, and algae. Coral reefs are not just beautiful, they also play a crucial role in maintaining the health of the ocean. Coral reefs act as nurseries for juvenile fish, providing shelter and protection from predators. They also help to regulate the ocean's chemistry, absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen. However, coral reefs are facing unprecedented threats, including climate change, pollution, and overfishing. Rising sea temperatures and acidification are causing coral bleaching, a process in which the coral expels its algal symbionts, turning white and often leading to the coral's death. For many people, diving is a way to experience the beauty and wonder of island ecosystems firsthand. The thrill of descending into the depths of the ocean, surrounded by the vibrant colors and sounds of marine life, is an experience that few can forget. However, diving also requires a deep respect for the marine environment and the creatures that inhabit it. Divers must be aware of their own impact on the ecosystem and take steps to minimize their disturbance of the marine environment. Island life is often characterized by a unique blend of isolation and diversity. Islands are often home to endemic species, found nowhere else on the planet. These species have evolved in isolation, adapting to the island's specific climate, geology, and ecosystem. Island life is also often marked by a strong sense of community and cultural identity. Islanders have developed unique traditions, languages, and customs shaped by their island's history and geography. Despite their unique beauty and importance, island ecosystems face numerous conservation challenges. Island species are often vulnerable to extinction due to their limited range and isolation. Climate change, habitat destruction, and invasive species are all major threats to island ecosystems. Conservation efforts must be tailored to the specific needs of each island ecosystem, taking into account the unique characteristics and challenges of each island. Island ecology is a fascinating and complex field, offering insights into the unique adaptations and characteristics of island ecosystems. From the underwater world of coral reefs to the terrestrial ecosystems of islands, each ecosystem is a testament to the incredible diversity and resilience of life on Earth. As we move forward in the face of climate change and other environmental challenges, it is essential that we prioritize the conservation of island ecosystems, recognizing their importance not just for the species that inhabit them, but for the health of the planet as a whole. Chapter 11. Conservation Efforts. The conservation of the island's unique ecosystems is a pressing concern as they face numerous threats from human activities, climate change, and natural disasters. The importance of conservation efforts cannot be overstated, as these ecosystems provide essential services, including shoreline protection, water filtration, and habitat for a vast array of marine life. Coral reefs are one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet, supporting an estimated 25% of all marine species. However, they are also one of the most vulnerable, with 75% of the world's coral reefs already degraded or destroyed. The island's coral reefs are no exception, with many facing threats from pollution, overfishing, and climate change. Conservation efforts are underway to protect these ecosystems, including the establishment of marine protected areas (MPAAs), which provide a safe haven for marine life to thrive. MPAAs are designated areas where human activities are restricted or prohibited to allow marine life to recover and thrive. These areas can be established through local, national, or international agreements and can be managed by government agencies, non-profit organizations, or local communities. MPAAs provide a range of benefits, including the protection of habitats, species, and ecosystem services, as well as the promotion of sustainable fishing and tourism practices. Community-based conservation initiatives involve local communities in the conservation process, recognizing their importance in protecting the island's ecosystems. These initiatives can take many forms, including the establishment of community-managed MPAAs, sustainable fishing practices, and ecotourism activities. Community-based conservation initiatives have been shown to be effective in promoting conservation outcomes, as they are often more effective and sustainable than top-down approaches. Island life is often closely tied to the conservation of the island's ecosystems. Many island communities rely on the sea for their livelihoods, and the degradation of the marine environment can have significant impacts on their well-being. Conservation efforts must therefore be integrated with sustainable development initiatives, such as sustainable fishing and tourism practices, to ensure that the needs of local communities are met while also protecting the island's ecosystems. Despite the importance of conservation efforts, there are many challenges to overcome. These include limited resources, conflicting interests, and the need for long-term commitment. However, there are also many opportunities for conservation efforts to make a positive impact. These include the development of innovative technologies, the engagement of local communities, and the promotion of sustainable practices. The conservation of the island's ecosystems is a critical issue, requiring the efforts of governments, non-profit organizations, local communities, and individuals. The importance of conservation efforts cannot be overstated, as they provide essential services, including shoreline protection, water filtration, and habitat for a vast array of marine life. By working together, we can protect the island's ecosystems and ensure the long-term health and well-being of the planet. Chapter 12. Climate Change and Ocean Acidification. As we delve into the world of coral reefs, it is essential to understand the profound impact of climate change and ocean acidification on these delicate ecosystems. The consequences of these phenomena are far-reaching, affecting not only the reefs themselves, but also the diverse array of species that call them home. Coral reefs are often referred to as the rainforests of the sea due to their incredible biodiversity. However, this very diversity makes them susceptible to the effects of climate change and ocean acidification. Coral polyps, the tiny animals that construct the reef, are highly sensitive to changes in their environment. Rising sea temperatures and increased acidity can disrupt their ability to build and maintain their calcium carbonate skeletons, leading to reduced growth rates and increased mortality. One of the most significant consequences of climate change is the rise in global temperatures. This warming trend has a direct impact on coral reefs, as many species of coral are sensitive to temperature fluctuations. When sea temperatures exceed the optimal range for coral growth, coral bleaching occurs. This process, where corals expel their algal symbionts, can lead to the death of the coral and a significant decline in reef health. In addition to rising sea temperatures, ocean acidification poses a significant threat to coral reefs. As the ocean absorbs increasing amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, the pH level of the water decreases, becoming more acidic. This change in chemistry makes it more difficult for corals to build and maintain their skeletons, as the increased acidity reduces the availability of calcium carbonate. The combination of rising sea temperatures and ocean acidification has devastating consequences for coral reefs. As corals decline, the entire ecosystem is disrupted, leading to a decline in biodiversity and a loss of ecosystem function. This, in turn, has significant implications for the many species that rely on coral reefs for food, shelter, and breeding grounds. The effects of climate change and ocean acidification on coral reefs are not limited to the reef itself. Island communities that rely on coral reefs for their livelihoods are also severely impacted. Fishing industries, tourism, and coastal protection are all threatened by the decline of coral reefs. The loss of these ecosystems can have far-reaching consequences for local economies and the people who depend on them. While the impact of climate change and ocean acidification on coral reefs is significant, there is still hope for the future. By reducing our carbon emissions and mitigating the effects of ocean acidification, we can help to preserve these incredible ecosystems. It is essential that we take action to protect coral reefs, not only for the benefit of the reefs themselves, but also for the many species that depend on them and the people who call them home. Climate change and ocean acidification pose a significant threat to coral reefs, with far-reaching consequences for the entire ecosystem. It is essential that we understand the impact of these phenomena and take action to mitigate their effects. By working together, we can help to preserve these incredible ecosystems for future generations. Chapter 13. Pollution and Human Impact. The coral reef ecosystem is one of the most biologically diverse and complex ecosystems on the planet, providing a habitat for a vast array of marine life. However, this delicate ecosystem is under threat from the effects of pollution and human activity. In this chapter, we will explore the devastating impact of pollution and human activity on the reef and the consequences for the marine life that call it home. Pollution is one of the most significant threats to the health of the coral reef ecosystem. Chemical pollutants, such as fertilizers, pesticides, and industrial waste, can enter the reef through runoff from land-based activities, such as agriculture and urban development. These pollutants can have a range of devastating effects on the reef, including chemical pollutants can damage or kill coral, reducing the reef's structural integrity and making it more susceptible to erosion. Pollutants can also be toxic to marine life, including fish, invertebrates, and other organisms that live on or near the reef. Excess nutrients from pollution can stimulate the growth of algae, which can outcompete coral for space and resources. Human activity is another significant threat to the coral reef ecosystem. Activities such as overfishing, coastal development, and tourism can have a range of negative impacts on the reef, including overfishing can deplete fish populations, reducing the reef's biodiversity and ecosystem function. Coastal development, such as the construction of hotels, resorts, and other infrastructure, can lead to habitat destruction and increased pollution. Tourism can also have negative impacts on the reef, including the introduction of invasive species and increased pollution from human waste and other activities. The consequences of pollution and human activity on the reef are far-reaching and devastating. The loss of coral cover and biodiversity can have significant impacts on the ecosystem's function and resilience, leading to the loss of coral and biodiversity can reduce the reef's ability to provide ecosystem services, such as shoreline protection and nursery grounds for fish. The decline of the reef can also have significant economic impacts, including the loss of tourism revenue and the decline of commercial fisheries. The loss of coral and biodiversity can also lead to the loss of unique and irreplaceable species, reducing the reef's ecological value and cultural significance. The coral reef ecosystem is a delicate and complex ecosystem that is under threat from the effects of pollution and human activity. The consequences of pollution and human activity are far-reaching and devastating, including the loss of coral cover and biodiversity, reduced ecosystem services, economic impacts, and the loss of biodiversity. It is essential that we take action to reduce pollution and mitigate the impacts of human activity on the reef in order to protect this valuable ecosystem for future generations. Chapter 14. Disease and Predation. Coral reef ecosystems are among the most diverse and complex ecosystems on the planet, supporting an incredible array of marine life. However, these ecosystems are facing numerous threats, including disease and predation. In this chapter, we will explore the impact of disease and predation on coral reef ecosystems, examining the causes, effects, and potential consequences of these threats. Disease is a significant threat to coral reef ecosystems, with many coral species susceptible to infection. Coral diseases can be caused by a variety of factors, including bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. These diseases can have a devastating impact on coral populations, leading to reduced growth rates, increased mortality, and even local extinctions. One of the most significant coral diseases is coral bleaching, which occurs when corals expel their algal symbionts, known as zooxanthellae, in response to stress. This can be caused by a variety of factors, including rising water temperatures, pollution, and overexposure to sunlight. Coral bleaching can have a significant impact on coral reef ecosystems, leading to reduced biodiversity and altered ecosystem function. Predation is another significant threat to coral reef ecosystems, with many species of fish, invertebrates, and algae preying on corals and other reef organisms. Predation can have a significant impact on coral populations, leading to reduced growth rates, increased mortality, and even local extinctions. One of the most significant predators of corals is the coral-eating fish, such as the parrotfish and the surgeonfish. These fish feed on coral polyps, reducing the density of coral cover and altering the structure of the reef. Other predators, such as sea stars and sea urchins, can also have a significant impact on coral populations. Disease and predation can interact in complex ways, with disease outbreaks often being exacerbated by predation. For example, when coral-eating fish are present, they can reduce the density of coral cover, making it easier for diseases to spread. Similarly, when corals are stressed due to disease, they may be more susceptible to predation. Conversely, predation can also have a positive impact on coral reef ecosystems by controlling the population sizes of herbivorous fish and invertebrates that can overgraze algae and reduce coral growth. This highlights the importance of considering the interactions between disease and predation when managing coral reef ecosystems. The consequences of disease and predation on coral reef ecosystems can be significant, including reduced biodiversity, altered ecosystem function, and even local extinctions. Coral reefs that are heavily impacted by disease and predation may experience reduced growth rates, increased mortality, and even local extinctions. The loss of coral cover can have a cascading impact on the entire ecosystem, leading to reduced habitat for other species, altered food webs, and reduced ecosystem resilience. This can have significant implications for the many species that depend on coral reefs for food, shelter, and breeding grounds. Managing and conserving coral reef ecosystems in the face of disease and predation requires a multifaceted approach. This includes reducing the impacts of human activities, such as pollution and overfishing, as well as protecting and restoring coral reefs. One approach is to establish marine protected areas (MPARs), which can provide a safe haven for corals and other reef organisms to grow and thrive. MPARs can also help to reduce the impacts of disease and predation by providing a refuge for corals and other reef organisms from predators and disease outbreaks. Another approach is to restore coral reefs through coral nurseries and reef restoration programs. These programs can help to increase coral cover, reduce the impacts of disease and predation, and promote ecosystem resilience. Disease and predation are significant threats to coral reef ecosystems, with the potential to reduce biodiversity, alter ecosystem function, and even lead to local extinctions. Understanding the causes, effects, and consequences of disease and predation is critical for managing and conserving coral reef ecosystems. By reducing the impacts of human activities, protecting and restoring coral reefs, and promoting ecosystem resilience, we can help to preserve these incredible ecosystems for future generations. Chapter 15: Protected Areas and Sanctuaries. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, is home to an array of protected areas and sanctuaries that play a crucial role in preserving its delicate balance. As the world's largest coral reef system, stretching over 2,300 kilometres off the coast of Queensland, Australia, it is essential to understand the significance of these protected areas in safeguarding the reef's integrity. The Great Barrier Reef is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for its outstanding universal value. This designation provides international recognition and protection for the reef's natural and cultural heritage. The reef is also part of the Australian Government's National Heritage List, which acknowledges its importance as a national treasure. The Australian Government has established a network of 33 marine protected areas (MPARs) within the Great Barrier Reef, covering approximately 33% of the reef's total area. These MPAs provide a safe haven for marine life to thrive, free from the impacts of fishing, mining, and other human activities. The MPAs are categorized into 3 types. 1. These areas prohibit all extractive activities, including fishing and mining, to allow for the recovery of depleted fish populations and the restoration of damaged habitats. 2. These areas allow for limited extractive activities, such as sustainable fishing and tourism, while still providing protection for vulnerable species and habitats. 3. These areas focus on protecting specific habitats such as coral reefs, seagrass beds, and mangrove forests, which are essential for maintaining the reef's ecological balance. In addition to impasse, the Great Barrier Reef is home to several sanctuaries and refuges that provide a safe haven for marine life. These areas are often established by local communities, conservation organizations, or government agencies to protect specific species or habitats. 1. These areas are designed to protect coral reefs from damage caused by anchoring, fishing, and other human activities. Coral reefs are critical habitats for many marine species, and their destruction can have far-reaching consequences for the entire ecosystem. 2. These areas provide a safe haven for sea turtles, which are vulnerable to entanglement in fishing gear, habitat destruction, and climate change. Sea turtles play a crucial role in maintaining the reef's ecological balance, and their protection is essential for the reef's long-term health. 3. These areas are established to protect dugongs, large marine mammals that are vulnerable to habitat destruction, entanglement in fishing gear, and hunting. Dugongs are important herbivores that help maintain the health of seagrass beds, which are essential for many marine species. While protected areas and sanctuaries play a vital role in preserving the Great Barrier Reef's integrity, there are still significant challenges to overcome. Climate change, pollution, and overfishing continue to threaten the reef's health, and it is essential to address these issues through a combination of conservation efforts, sustainable management practices, and community engagement. In conclusion, the protected areas and sanctuaries around the Great Barrier Reef are a critical component of the reef's conservation strategy. These areas provide a safe haven for marine life, protect vulnerable species and habitats, and support the long-term health and resilience of the reef. As we move forward, it is essential to continue to expand and strengthen these protected areas, while also addressing the broader challenges facing the reef. Chapter 16: Management Strategies. The coral reef ecosystem is a delicate and complex system that requires careful management to ensure its long-term sustainability. In recent years, the reef has faced numerous threats, including climate change, pollution, and overfishing. In response, a range of management strategies have been implemented to protect the reef and its inhabitants. This chapter will provide an overview of these strategies, highlighting their importance and effectiveness in preserving the reef's ecological integrity. One of the most effective management strategies for protecting the reef is the establishment of marine protected areas, MPARs. MPARs are designated zones within the reef that are closed to human activities, such as fishing, diving, and anchoring. This allows the reef to recover from the impacts of human activities and provides a safe haven for marine life to thrive. MPARs can be established through a combination of government regulations, community-based initiatives, and international agreements. For example, the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park in Australia is one of the largest MPAs in the world, covering over 344,000 square kilometres. The park is managed by the Australian government and is home to an incredible array of marine life, including over 1,500 species of fish, 600 species of coral, and many other creatures. The park's management strategy includes a range of measures, including no-take zones, habitat protection, and research and monitoring programs. Sustainable fishing practices are essential for maintaining the health of the reef. Overfishing and destructive fishing practices can have devastating impacts on the reef's ecosystem, including the depletion of key species and the destruction of habitats. To address this issue, many countries have implemented sustainable fishing practices, such as catch limits, fishing gear restrictions, and closed seasons. For example, the Australian government has implemented a range of measures to promote sustainable fishing practices in the Great Barrier Reef. These measures include catch limits for key species, such as coral trout and barramundi, and restrictions on fishing gear, such as the use of nets and traps. The government also works with the fishing industry to promote responsible fishing practices and to develop new technologies that can help to reduce the impact of fishing on the reef. Climate change is one of the most significant threats facing the reef, with rising sea temperatures and ocean acidification having devastating impacts on coral health and biodiversity. To address this issue, many countries are implementing climate change mitigation strategies, such as reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting the use of renewable energy sources. For example, the Australian government has set a target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 26-28 below 2005 levels by 2030. The government is also investing in renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, and promoting the use of electric vehicles. Additionally, the government is working with the international community to develop new technologies and strategies for reducing the impact of climate change on the reef. Community-based conservation is an essential component of reef management, as it involves local communities in the conservation process and provides them with a sense of ownership and responsibility for the reef. Community-based conservation initiatives can take many forms, including education and outreach programs, habitat restoration projects, and sustainable tourism initiatives. For example, the Reef 2020 program in Australia is a community-based conservation initiative that aims to protect the reef through a range of measures, including habitat restoration, research and monitoring, and education and outreach programs. The program involves local communities in the conservation process and provides them with training and resources to help them protect the reef. The management of the coral reef ecosystem is a complex and challenging task that requires a range of strategies and approaches. From the establishment of marine protected areas to sustainable fishing practices, climate change mitigation, and community-based conservation, there are many ways to protect the reef and its inhabitants. By working together and implementing effective management strategies, we can help to preserve the reef's ecological integrity and ensure its long-term sustainability. Chapter 17: Community Engagement and Education. Reef conservation is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires the collective efforts of individuals, communities, governments, and organizations. While scientific research and technological advancements play a crucial role in understanding and protecting coral reef ecosystems, community engagement and education are equally essential components of a comprehensive conservation strategy. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of community engagement and education in reef conservation, highlighting the benefits, challenges, and best practices in this area. Benefits of community engagement and education. Community engagement and education are vital components of reef conservation because they empower local communities to take ownership of conservation efforts and promote sustainable practices. By involving local communities in the conservation process, reef conservation efforts can be more effective, efficient, and sustainable. Community engagement and education can also help to increase awareness and understanding of the importance of coral reef ecosystems and the impact of human activities on these ecosystems. Promote behavioral change and adoption of sustainable practices among local communities. Build trust and cooperation between local communities, governments, and organizations. Provide opportunities for local communities to participate in decision-making processes and benefit from conservation efforts. Foster a sense of ownership and responsibility among local communities for the conservation of coral reef ecosystems. Challenges of community engagement and education. Despite the importance of community engagement and education in reef conservation, there are several challenges that must be addressed. Some of the key challenges include limited resources and funding for community engagement and education initiatives, limited access to education and training opportunities for local communities, limited awareness and understanding of the importance of coral reef ecosystems among local communities, limited participation and engagement of local communities in conservation efforts, limited capacity and expertise among local communities to implement conservation initiatives, best practices in community engagement and education. To overcome the challenges and maximize the benefits of community engagement and education in reef conservation, several best practices can be employed. Some of the key best practices include developing targeted and culturally sensitive education and training programs that address the specific needs and concerns of local communities, building partnerships and collaborations between local communities, governments and organizations to leverage resources and expertise, providing opportunities for local communities to participate in decision-making processes and benefit from conservation efforts, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility among local communities for the conservation of coral reef ecosystems, monitoring and evaluating the effectiveness of community engagement and education initiatives to identify areas for improvement and adjust strategies accordingly. Community engagement and education are essential components of reef conservation, empowering local communities to take ownership of conservation efforts and promoting sustainable practices. While there are challenges to be addressed, best practices can be employed to maximize the benefits of community engagement and education in reef conservation. By involving local communities in the conservation process, reef conservation efforts can be more effective, efficient, and sustainable. Chapter 18: Current Research and Findings. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, has been the subject of extensive scientific research for decades. As the largest coral reef system in the world, it is crucial to understand the complex interactions between its various components, including coral, fish, and other marine life, as well as the impacts of human activities on the reef's health. This chapter provides an overview of current scientific research and findings on the Great Barrier Reef, highlighting the latest discoveries and insights into its ecology, conservation, and management. Coral reefs are complex ecosystems characterized by a delicate balance between coral, algae, and other marine life. Coral polyps, tiny animals that secrete a hard calcium carbonate exoskeleton, provide the framework for the reef structure. Algae, which grow on the coral surface, play a crucial role in the reef's nutrient cycle, while fish and other animals contribute to the reef's biodiversity. Research has shown that coral reefs are not static ecosystems, but rather dynamic systems that are constantly evolving in response to changes in their environment. Hughes et al. 2018. For many people, diving in the Great Barrier Reef is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. As divers descend into the crystal-clear waters, they are struck by the sheer scale and beauty of the reef. The vibrant colors of the coral, the schools of fish, and the majestic sea turtles all contribute to an unforgettable experience. However, beneath the surface, scientists are working to understand the intricate relationships between the reef's components and the impacts of human activities on the reef's health. The Great Barrier Reef is not just a marine ecosystem, but also a vital part of the coastal ecosystems of the surrounding islands. Human activities such as coastal development, fishing, and tourism have significant impacts on the reef's health. Climate change, in particular, poses a major threat to the reef, as rising sea temperatures and ocean acidification can cause coral bleaching and reduce the reef's resilience. Hi Goldberg et al., 2007. In response, conservation efforts are underway to protect the reef and its surrounding ecosystems. These efforts include the establishment of marine protected areas, the development of sustainable fishing practices, and the promotion of ecotourism. Recent research has shed new light on the complex interactions between the Great Barrier Reef's components and the impacts of human activities on the reef's health. For example, studies have shown that coral reefs can recover from disturbances such as coral bleaching if given the opportunity to do so. Baker et al., 2013. Other research has highlighted the importance of preserving the reef's structural complexity, as this can help to maintain biodiversity and promote the recovery of damaged reefs. Graham et al., 2015. The Great Barrier Reef is a complex and dynamic ecosystem that is facing significant threats from human activities. As scientists, we have a responsibility to continue to study and understand this ecosystem in order to inform conservation and management efforts. By working together, we can help to protect this vital ecosystem for future generations. Chapter 19. New Technologies and Methods. The study of coral reefs has undergone a significant transformation in recent years, driven by the development of new technologies and methods. These advancements have enabled scientists to explore the underwater world with greater precision, accuracy, and efficiency, providing valuable insights into the complex dynamics of coral reef ecosystems. One of the most significant innovations in reef research is the use of remote-operated vehicles (ROVs). These unmanned underwater vehicles are equipped with high-definition cameras, sensors, and manipulator arms, allowing scientists to collect data and samples from the reef without the need for human divers. ROVs can operate at depths of up to 6,000 meters, making them ideal for exploring the deepest and most remote parts of the reef. In 2019, a team of scientists from the University of Queensland used an ROV to study the coral reefs of the Great Barrier Reef. The team deployed the ROV to a depth of 30 meters, where it collected high-definition video and still images of the reef. The data collected was used to create detailed 3D models of the reef, providing valuable insights into the structure and composition of the ecosystem. Another type of underwater vehicle gaining popularity in reef research is the autonomous underwater vehicle AUV. AUVs are similar to ROVs, but they operate independently, without the need for human intervention. AUVs are equipped with sensors and cameras that collect data on water temperature, salinity, and other environmental factors, as well as images of the reef. In 2020, a team of scientists from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution used an OV to study the coral reefs of the Caribbean. The OV was programmed to collect data on the reef structure and composition, as well as the abundance and diversity of marine life. The data collected was used to create detailed maps of the reef, providing valuable insights into the ecosystem's health and resilience. In addition to underwater vehicles, researchers are also using unmanned aerial vehicles (UAVs) to study coral reefs. UAVs, also known, are equipped with cameras and sensors that collect data on the reef surface and surrounding environment. UAVs are particularly useful for studying the reef's aerial extent, as well as the impact of climate change on the ecosystem. In 2018, a team of scientists from the University of Hawaii used a UAV to study the coral reefs of the Hawaiian Islands. The UAV was equipped with a high-definition camera and sensors that collected data on the reef's surface temperature and salinity. The data collected was used to create detailed maps of the reef, providing valuable insights into the ecosystem's health and resilience. Satellite imagery is another tool being used to study coral reefs. Satellites equipped with high-resolution cameras and sensors can collect data on the reef's aerial extent, as well as the impact of climate change on the ecosystem. Satellite imagery is particularly useful for studying the reef's long-term changes, as well as the impact of human activities on the ecosystem. In 2017, a team of scientists from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, used satellite imagery to study the coral reefs of the Florida Keys. The satellite imagery was used to create detailed maps of the reef, providing valuable insights into the ecosystem's health and resilience. In addition to new technologies and methods, researchers are also using genomic analysis to study coral reefs. Genomic analysis involves the study of an organism's DNA, providing valuable insights into its evolution, adaptation, and response to environmental changes. In 2019, a team of scientists from the University of California, San Diego used genomic analysis to study the coral reefs of the Red Sea. The team sequenced the DNA of coral samples from the reef, providing valuable insights into the coral's evolutionary history and adaptation to environmental changes. The use of new technologies and methods has revolutionized the study of coral reefs, providing valuable insights into the ecosystem's dynamics and resilience. As researchers continue to develop and refine these technologies, we can expect to see even more accurate and detailed maps of the reef, as well as a better understanding of the ecosystem's response to environmental changes. However, despite these advancements, there is still much to be learned about coral reefs. Future research should focus on integrating these new technologies and methods with traditional research approaches, such as field observations and experiments. By combining these approaches, we can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the reef's dynamics and resilience and develop more effective conservation and management strategies. In conclusion, the study of coral reefs has undergone a significant transformation in recent years, driven by the development of new technologies and methods. These advancements have enabled scientists to explore the underwater world with greater precision, accuracy, and efficiency, providing valuable insights into the complex dynamics of coral reef ecosystems. As researchers continue to develop and refine these technologies, we can expect to see even more accurate and detailed maps of the reef, as well as a better understanding of the ecosystem's response to environmental changes. Chapter 20: Future Direction. As we continue to explore and understand the complexities of coral reef ecosystems, it is essential to consider the future directions for research and discovery. The reef's delicate balance and the impact of human activities on its health necessitate ongoing investigation and innovation. This chapter will discuss the key areas that require attention and the potential breakthroughs that can be achieved through collaborative efforts. One of the primary areas of focus for future research is the continued study of reef dynamics. Coral reefs are dynamic systems, constantly evolving in response to environmental changes, human activities, and other factors. To better understand these processes, researchers must develop new methods for monitoring and modeling reef behavior. This can be achieved through the integration of cutting-edge technologies such as remote-operated vehicles, ROVs, autonomous underwater vehicles, ARVs, and advanced sensors. For example, the use of ROVs can provide high-resolution data on reef structure and composition, while ARVs can collect long-term data on water quality and circulation patterns. Advanced sensors can monitor water chemistry, temperature, and other factors that influence reef health. By combining these data streams, researchers can develop more accurate models of reef dynamics, enabling more effective management and conservation strategies. The microbial world is a vast and largely unexplored frontier in reef research. Coral reefs are home to an incredible array of microorganisms, including bacteria, archaea, and viruses. These microbes play a crucial role in reef health, influencing everything from coral growth and reproduction to the decomposition of organic matter. Future research should focus on the discovery of new microbial species, the characterization of their functions, and the development of novel applications for reef conservation. For instance, researchers can explore the potential of microbial-based solutions for coral disease treatment, reef restoration, and pollution mitigation. Coral reefs are facing unprecedented threats, from climate change to overfishing and pollution. To address these challenges, researchers must develop sustainable management strategies that balance human needs with reef conservation. This requires a multidisciplinary approach, incorporating insights from ecology, economics, sociology, and policy. Future research should focus on the development of adaptive management frameworks, which can respond to changing environmental conditions and human activities. This can involve the integration of traditional knowledge with scientific data, as well as the development of innovative tools and technologies for monitoring and enforcement. Public awareness and engagement are critical components of reef conservation. As the reef's health continues to decline, it is essential to educate and inspire the public to take action. Future research should focus on the development of effective communication strategies, incorporating storytelling, visual media, and interactive technologies. For example, researchers can create immersive virtual reality experiences that allow people to explore the reef and interact with its inhabitants. This can foster a deeper appreciation for the reef's importance and inspire individuals to become involved in conservation efforts. The future of coral reef research and discovery is bright, with numerous opportunities for innovation and breakthroughs. By advancing our understanding of reef dynamics, exploring the microbial world, developing sustainable management strategies, and enhancing public awareness and engagement, we can work towards a more resilient and sustainable future for these incredible ecosystems. As we move forward, it is essential to remain committed to collaborative research, interdisciplinary approaches, and a deep respect for the natural world.